It all started as an ordinary night at the observatory. Dr. Marin Holt, a brilliant but often overlooked scientist, had just finished her shift, scanning the skies for anything unusual. Most of her colleagues saw her as too intense, obsessed with her research, and unwilling to follow the more conventional paths in the field. But Marin had always trusted her instincts, and tonight, they were telling her something was off. She was about to log off for the evening when her computer screen flashed, showing an unusual energy signature coming from a distant star system. It was faint, almost indiscernible from background noise, but there was something about it that caught her attention. She ran it through the systems again, triple-checking the data, but the strange signal persisted. To most, it would look like a glitch, a simple error that could easily be ignored, but to Marin, it felt like a whisper in the dark, beckoning her. She reported the finding to her superiors, but they dismissed it as a malfunction, advising her to get some rest and stop chasing phantoms. Undeterred, Marin continued her analysis in secret. Over the next several nights, the signal grew stronger, more insistent. It was no longer something that could be shrugged off. It was real, and it was growing. Frustrated by the lack of support, Marin gathered a team of her own scientists from diverse fields who were as unconventional as she was. There was Dr. Aaron Keller, an astrophysicist known for his unorthodox theories about energy fields, Dr. Li Wei, a brilliant engineer who had designed some of the most advanced space travel technology, and Dr. Nadia Kincaid, a biologist with expertise in xenobiology. Together, they formed a team united by curiosity and skepticism of the mainstream. The deeper they dug into the signal, the more perplexing it became. It wasn't just a random burst of energy or radiation, it seemed almost deliberate, like someone or something was trying to communicate. As the team analyzed the data, they discovered the signal wasn't just coming from the star, it was being transmitted from a distant planet orbiting that star, a planet that had previously been deemed barren and uninhabitable. This discovery set in motion an ambitious, high-stakes mission. Against the wishes of their respective institutions, the team pooled their resources and launched a private expedition to investigate the origin of the signal. It was a one-way trip, fraught with peril, but Marin and her team were ready to risk everything for the truth. The journey through space was long and harrowing, with the tension between the team members growing as they inched closer to their destination. As they neared the star system, strange phenomena began to occur. Their instruments started picking up massive energy fluctuations, and the ship systems began to malfunction. There were moments when they lost contact with mission control, leaving them entirely isolated in the vastness of space. Upon reaching the planet, things took an even more dangerous turn. The surface was nothing like what the initial surveys had shown. Instead of a dead, barren landscape, they found a world teeming with strange energy fields and an atmosphere that seemed to pulse with life. It was as if the entire planet was alive, responding to their presence. The team landed cautiously, only to be met with a startling revelation. Massive, ancient structures lay scattered across the landscape, remnants of a long-lost civilization. These structures radiated the same energy signature they had been tracking, confirming their suspicions that this place was the source of the signal. As they explored, they realized that the energy signature was not just a random transmission. It was a warning. They soon discovered why. In the heart of one of the ancient structures, they uncovered technology far beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. It was capable of manipulating space, time, and energy in ways they could scarcely comprehend. But this technology came with a dark secret, an entity of unimaginable power, imprisoned for millennia, lying dormant beneath the planet's surface. The signal, they realized, had been a beacon, an attempt by the long-gone civilization to keep others away, to prevent anyone from disturbing the ancient force they had sealed away. But now that humanity had arrived, the entity began to stir. As the team worked frantically to understand what they had unleashed, the situation spiraled out of control. Strange energy storms raged across the planet, and their equipment began to fail. The entity communicated with them in ways they couldn't fully grasp: visions, whispers in their minds, flashes of memories that weren't their own. It wasn't malicious, but it was beyond their control. The more they tried to comprehend it, the more dangerous it became. Marin, who had led them here, was faced with an impossible choice. They could attempt to flee the planet and leave the entity undisturbed, or they could risk everything to shut it down for good. But as the energy grew stronger, it became clear that leaving wasn't an option. The entity was waking up, and if it fully awakened, it would tear apart not just the planet but possibly the entire star system and beyond. In a race against time, the team worked together, each using their unique expertise to devise a way to contain the entity. Aaron theorized that they could reverse the energy field, trapping the entity in a self-sustaining loop. Lee designed a device capable of doing just that, while Nadia, using her knowledge of biology, found that the ancient civilization had left behind bio-organic components that could power the device. But things weren't that simple. As they set the plan into motion, the entity fought back. It manipulated the planet itself, causing earthquakes and violent storms that battered their ship and equipment. Marin had to make a split-second decision: either she activated the containment device manually, risking her life in the process, or the entity would break free. With no time to hesitate, Marin made the ultimate sacrifice. She rushed into the heart of the energy storm, activating the device as her team watched helplessly from a distance. For a moment, everything went silent. The planet stilled, the storms ceased, and the entity's presence vanished. Marin had done it. But she was gone. The team, broken but alive, returned to Earth with the truth. Their mission had revealed more than just a signal or an ancient civilization. It had shown them that the universe was far more complex and dangerous than they ever imagined, and that humanity had only begun to scratch the surface of what lay beyond the stars. As they presented their findings to the world, one thing was certain: the universe was vast, mysterious, and full of unknowns. And while humanity had survived this encounter, there was no telling what other forces might be waiting in the darkness. The signal had stopped, but the questions remained. And in the quiet aftermath of their discovery, they realized that the universe still held secrets that could change everything. They thought they knew the universe. But humanity had shown them otherwise.